Did you know that salt is such an effective disinfectant in poultry farming? And you know how important disinfecting your chicken house is in poultry farming? Well, behind me, these are cages and they are empty. That means the birds have been laid off. These birds were laid off at 180 weeks. And so we are preparing to receive a new batch. Now what's going to happen is we need to do thorough preparation. Of course, I did a video about disinfecting like thoroughly, and this is what exactly we're going to do with these cages. And of course, most people these days, when they're disinfecting, they use commercial disinfectants. How about the organic farmers? Someone may be wondering what organic farming is. You know, recently I had a conversation with one of the poultry farmers, and they are having a huge concern when it comes to using of chemicals in poultry farming. Let's say the broilers, for example. They are going to be eaten at 5 weeks, but at this point they are still being treated with some medicines. And these medicines, actually, they end up affecting those ones who are consuming them. The consumers are human beings. So that's when the people of organic farming theory or practice come in to save the health of the humans. When you're doing organic farming, it means you're trying as much as you can to avoid chemicals in your poultry farming. But remember, once you're doing poultry farming, you can't avoid viruses, you can't avoid bacteria. This is when salt comes in. For centuries, salt has been used for a lot of purposes. But for this particular video, I'm going to highlight how it's been used as a preservative in meat and fish. Until today, it's been used as a preservative in fish and meat. But how does salt preserve fish? How does it prevent fish and meat from going bad? Well, I'll come back to that. Salt can be used as a disinfectant in poultry farming, in organic poultry farming. So how are organic farmers leveraging salt as a disinfectant to kill bacteria? This is how salt actually works, especially in meat and fish, and eventually as a disinfectant in poultry farming. Salt, as you all aware, is a solute, and it mixes well in solvents like water. And once you mix it in water, it forms a saline solution. So if you have this saline solution and you want to use it as a disinfectant, it has to be saturated with salt, you know. So our cages here, much as they look clean and well maintained, they are full of bacteria. So they have to be disinfected before a new batch come here. One thing about bacteria is that they have a semi-permeable membrane. That means the content, whatever comes inside of them, it can easily come out. So how does the salt solution now become effective? Once these bacteria get in touch with this salt solution, which is saline, they lose water to this highly concentrated solution, saline solution, through a process called osmosis. And eventually they get dehydrated, and once they're dehydrated, they die. This is a swift process. Don't think it's going to take long. It's so swift because, I don't want to delve so much into biology. I'm just a poultry farmer. So that's how it can easily happen. They will die, they will not survive once they come in touch with this salt solution. So let's go to the practical bit of it. How do you mix this solution, like for effective results? Well, all you need is a container. You can have like a commercial pump. You can even have a bucket of water for those ones who do not have pumps. Or you can even, anything, you use like a hand sprayer. Just make sure you have something that just make sure you use something that you're going to put water and then spray. So if you have your amount of water, then get salt. Remember, this solution has to be saturated with salt for it to be effective. And then if you have a lemon, you can add, for example, in the 20 liters, you can add a sachet of salt. If you can use any salt. You can use the sea salt, you can use iodine salt, any kind of salt you have. So after that, you add like 4 pieces of lemon. I'm talking about 20 liters. So if you have other measurements, then you can also estimate. Just make sure you have a sizable, you have a saturated solution. So after adding salt, and making sure everything is fully saturated, you start spraying. You aim to where you want the bacteria to die, inside your chicken house, on the chickens themselves. Speaking of the chickens themselves, you know, when you're doing organic farming, it means you're doing away with any kind of chemicals, including the medicines themselves. So this is what you're going to do. If your birds get sick with infectious coryza, how do you know your birds have infectious coryza? Of course, you're going to see their eyes, like on top of their eyes, they'll be swollen, they have this white discharge in their eyes. So what you do, get cotton, put it in that solution, and then press on their eyes. Just make sure that discharge gets out of that eyes. So this is a semi-automatic sprayer. Part of it is automatic, part of it is manual. So I just finished charging it because I'm going to use it to spray. So it's super effective. If you can afford it, it makes your work easy. If you can't, don't worry. You can use anything that you have. So we're going to fill it with water. It has to be full, and then we shall add our lemon, our salt and lemon. This sprayer or pump has a sieve inside it, so it means the debris will stay on this. So it's full. Okay. So next thing is we're going to add our salt. This is table salt. This is the one we used to put in food so that it can have that wonderful taste we all enjoy. So my hands are clean. Of course, even if they are not clean, the bacteria will not survive once I touch the salt. Okay, so let me I'm going to put it on. So I'll add my lemon as well. And then I'll cover, and then that's it. Bye-bye, bacteria. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing discovery. And please, if you find this video interesting and helpful and insightful, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like it, and share it for it to reach broader audience. As always, this is Call Me Fridaus with farming tips. Bye-bye.